Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to get started, but first I'd like to introduce you to your NYSDA CE team. My name is Brenda Turner, and I am the Director of Continuing Education. Also, my colleague Jocelyn Richter is our Continuing Education Coordinator and CE Navigator expert.
Hi, everyone.
Jocelyn will guide you through a demonstration of CE Navigator. I'm monitoring the Q&A, and I'm here to assist with any technical issues. This webinar will be recorded and will be posted to NYSDA's Continuing Education page for future reference. A few quick housekeeping items before we begin. All attendees are automatically muted and will remain muted throughout the session. Video is off for all attendees. The webinar will run for approximately 1 hour. If you have a question at any point, please use the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. We'll address as many questions as time allows. If you're experiencing technical difficulties, try leaving and rejoining the webinar. You can also reach out to us at ce@nysdental.org. At the conclusion of the webinar, a survey will be available. If you could please take a few minutes to provide us your feedback, we would greatly appreciate it. I'd like to clear up a few things before we dive in, just some common misconceptions. CE Navigator is a support tool. It's designed to keep you organized and compliant. You are not required to use it. NYSDA and your local dental societies do not report your CE credits to the New York State Education Department. Only in the event of an audit or a conditional license would you need to provide your CE history to show compliance. When NYSDA was developing CE Navigator, we worked with the New York State Education Department, and the CE Navigator transcript is accepted in place of individual certificates. Jocelyn will go into more of those details regarding the transcript during the demonstration. That said, if you are ever audited, please contact us first. We can help you get everything in order before submission is stated. No CE credit is awarded for today's presentation. This is an informational session only. In the Q&A, you will find all the links and resources you need to access the information that Jocelyn will show you. And we are excited to show you what CE Navigator can do. Let's get started with the demonstration. Jocelyn, take it away.
All right, thanks, Brenda. All right, hi, everyone. So I wanted to start, I know some of you may have CE Navigator already, some of you may not. So a lot of the questions I get asked is, well, how do I access CE Navigator? How do I get to it? So I wanted to start right from our page, nysdental.org. As many of you, I'm sure, go right on this page and click on log in, which is fine, but it's just not going to bring you to CE Navigator. CE Navigator is a totally separate system. It's separate from this login button. When you click on that, this is what it's going to bring you to, which is your ADA login. The ADA login, and that link is provided in the chat that Brenda just put up. It's the first one, the myaccount.ada.org. That's where you can go to access your CE history, the previous system. So anything before September 24, as long as you've submitted it and or you've taken it with a local dental society, it will be in your login there. If you need help accessing that, just let us know. You can email us. We can assist. We've done this with many, many members. So just let us know, email us, that's fine. So 2 ways to get to CE Navigator, not the login button at the top. You can either go beneath the search bar to CE and events and click on CE Navigator. From this page, you're going to click on Get Started Today. Our previous webinars are here, and then the new one will be here as well, just in case you do have to leave early or you want to come back to it. It will be there for your reference. But to get to the login page, you'll click on Get Started Today. If you have an account, you'll stay to the left, enter your information. If you're a new user, you'll go to the right and enter the email address you want to use in the password. If you've forgotten your password, you can click on this. It will send a code to your email. When you get to your email, you'll enter the code here and then you'll put the code in there. That's not resetting your password, it's keeping it the same, but once you get logged in, I'll show you once we're in there where you can change your password once you're in there. Or you can always just call us. We can help you with that. We can give you a temporary password. We can work around it. That's fine. If this feature isn't working, sometimes people say it doesn't work. So just let us know if it's not. The other way to get to the login page from our main page, if you go to the quick links, which is right here on the right side of the page, and you scroll down to CE Navigator, this will bring you right directly to the login page. So you can save this page so that you don't lose it or you don't have to go to our website every time to get to it. You can click on this little star on the upper right hand side here, and if you do that, it will have you save it as a bookmark, so it will save it on your toolbar right underneath your search bar there. I have mine in alphabetical order because I am OCD, so I have to have it in alphabetical order. But you can put it anywhere you want. You can name it whatever you want. You can save it there. If you want to use the app on your phone, that's fine, but you just have to create your account first on a desktop. So you have to be on a computer to start your account. Once you're established, then you can use your app on your phone. So that is another question I do get asked quite often. So once you sign up, you will get to this page and it will look similar, but you'll have a box that shows up, asks you what your ADA number is. You'll put that in. It will autofill some information from your ADA account. If you have like your preferred address, your email, you can use the one that you use to log in. That's fine. This is for email reminders. Your mobile phone, if you want to put that in there, also for text reminders, and I'll show you that later, but you can set reminders when you're due for continuing education that's required every 2, 3, 4 years. So you can send yourself either a text or email reminder. You will have to put in your date of birth and your license number. You'll click this box right here and you'll click save. For a new user, it will say add. You will click add and you will click next. And this will bring you to the main page. It will ask you what your expiration date on your license is. I have this wrong on purpose because I'll show you later how to fix that. But as most know, probably mostly everybody knows when their license expires, although I have seen a lot incorrect on here and I've been fixing them as I've been noticing them. I try to update it for you guys. But you can go to, and it's the third link in that chat that Brenda put in there, the NYSED license verification. You can search by your name or your license number. Profession would be 050 for dentistry, and then you can type in your license number and you can figure out what your expiration date is. So that's how you get to that. When you create an account, you'll have 0 hours, so nothing is going to transfer over from the old system. The ADA would not allow that, unfortunately, to make it any easier for you guys. So me and Brenda have been working with many, many members to try to get them caught up and get their current coursework in here from the old system. If a member calls, we're more than happy to help you with that. Some people just do it on their own because they have their certificates and that's fine. We've also been trying to help as much as we can. So just let us know if you need it and we can certainly help you. That's not a problem. So for this demonstration, I just want to show you the buttons first, and then we'll go into how you use it, how you put a course in, how you would do like a bulk entry for a conference meeting, things like that. What to look for on the certificates and all of that good stuff. I'm not going to go into any licensing requirements with this demonstration because I just really want to show CE Navigator. We can have a separate licensing one if people are interested in it. Definitely take the survey at the end so that we know you're interested in doing that, and we certainly would be more than happy to have like a Q&A about requirements for state ed. But on the main page, they also call it dashboard. You have some buttons at the top. License period on the upper left, you can add a new one. Once yours expires, you will have to manually add a new one. So it will keep track of it here for you. Each time you create a new one, it will have the dates all lined up there for you. Or you can manage your license and you can edit the date. So this date is wrong, and I'll show you how to fix that after I show you all the buttons. Show you how to do that. It's very easy. My classes, search classes, they're not available right now. It's for eventually we will get some continuing education courses within CE Navigator, so you can take them right within the app or the the desktop version, and it will automatically update to your account, which is nice. The view upload CE is probably where you're going to be spending most of your time. You will upload the CE here. You can view your CE here, and this import from a meeting is not available at the moment. Add objective is it's not to add a course. Some people have been adding objective as courses. That's not what that's for. Basically, what an objective is one of these little boxes. So it's something you want to keep track of each registration period. So for example, some dentists like to take risk management every 3 years, and they want to keep track of that. They can add that. And I will show you how to do that in the demonstration as well so that you can see what it looks like. And then the download print button, you can print your transcript from here. Once I get some courses in here, I'll show you what that looks like and I'll go over that with you. But this download Excel file, you don't need to worry about that. You'll just really want to stay here in the print transcript area. So I'm going to go back Infection control, as everyone knows, is due every 4 years, the mandated one. If you're not sure if the provider you took the course with is an approved state ed provider, you can go to the More Info tab. Every single objective has a More Info tab. Brenda spent a lot of time and effort trying to make sure that the information there is accurate, that there's links in there for you for more information. So if I clicked on that, there is a link for approved providers, and you can search this list for the provider that you took the course with. So I would recommend doing that. There's a lot of infection control courses out there. They're not always the mandated state one. So that is some information for you on that. I will go over uploading a CPR course, but if you click on the More Info tab, it will tell you that for basic life support, you can get up to 3 credits. For a CPR course, including AED training, you'll get 4.5. And if you're ACLS or PALS Research, it's 6 credits. So there is more information in here, and it does tell you the approved providers. State Ed also has a list of them on their website, which I will show you later on, but they do have a whole Q&A section for the dentists and technically hygienists, so it's kind of goes hand in hand. The DEA permit, if you click on that, there's more information on the mandatory prescriber education. There's links to Buffalo has a course that's a 4 credit course that you can take online. So each one has a tab with more information on it, what the law is, where, the link for more information for more providers, ethics and jurisprudence, the same thing. So each one, you can't mess anything up in here. You can click around, you can click on things. Feel free to explore it if you do have one. It's good information. So underneath each objective, so for example, infection control, under this actions tab, there's a couple options. Find classes would be if we had courses on here for infection control, you could look for them on here. We don't have that feature currently. We're just trying to get everybody caught up with their histories and getting their current coursework in right now. Eventually, we will probably add some. Completed courses, obviously, it's ones you've completed already. So you can take a look at that once you've added that objective. It should have a green little check mark next to it once you complete the objective. You can set reminders here. You can upload the course directly from here, from this Actions tab, instead of going up here to the View Upload CE. You could do it that way as well. Or you can hide it. So some people don't have a DA permit, which is fine, and they don't want it on their main page. They don't have it, they don't care about it. So you can go to Actions and you can go down and click Hide. And let's say you don't have a sedation permit. You can go to Actions and Hide. So now it's hidden from your main page. You don't have to worry about it. It's not an objective that you yourself have to meet each registration period. How do you get them back? Well, if you scroll to the top and look at the upper right-hand side, there's a Show All button, and they will reappear for you. Okay, so that is an option for some people. They do like to do that. Okay, so why don't I get started and show you how to do a CPR course? So, oh, the other thing, just because I don't want to forget to mention this, when you do create an account, you will get an email. It's a welcome email. Brenda and I put it together with a bunch of links for you. One is how to access your CE history. Go step by step on how you go through it in your ADA account. But again, if you need help with this, please let us know. We can help you. It is still there. It is still accessible. It did not disappear. It is still readily available for you. And then there are a bunch of guides on how to work within the system, how to upload a course, how to delete one, how to add a certificate, how to print your transcript. And it goes step by step with screen shares on how to work within the system. So whatever directions you need, it's there for you. Again, we've also gone, through many, many, many phone calls. I mean, we've spent hours on the phone with members trying to help them with all of this as well. But sometimes the screen shares are a little bit easier to read and to see it. So that will be available for you. If for some reason you don't get this email and you want it, let us know and we can always send it to you. Okay, so that is there for you. All right, so let's say I wanted to add a CPR course. So you can do it one of two ways. You can add it from this View Upload CE button, or you can do it from the Actions tab. If you do it from the Actions tab and you upload the CE, it will automatically select it right here for you, which is fine. And I'm going to show you what everyone does, because everyone does this. They'll add it and then the hours don't calculate and don't show up on their main page, and I'll show you why that happens. But for CPR, all you need is your CPR card. You don't need a certificate. You don't need anything like that. Just your CPR card is fine. So I'm gonna pull up the CPR card that I just have an example for you. So this one was with AED training. So you can do the course title, whatever you want. This was the American Heart Association. This is CPR with, AED training. Okay, just so that we know. The speaker name I redacted, but it would be here. If for some reason you don't have it, it's fine. You can just put TBD. It's not the end of the world if you don't know what the speaker name is. Sponsor would be American Heart Association, so you can start typing that in and it will show up on the list of providers that we have on here. So you'll click on that. Location just has to be city and state, does not have to be the full address of the place that you went to. It just keep it very simple. This is in Stony Brook, New York, so location I'm putting Stony Brook, New York. Basically, state ed wants to see if it was live, if it was online, if it was live interactive webinar, things like that. That's what they're looking for. That's why they want that on there. The date of the class was 2/10, I believe 25. So you can do it two ways. You can type it in. You can go 2025 to 10. It has to be year, month, and then the day, or you can select it from the calendar. However you want to do it is fine. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Either way is fine, but it has to be in this formatting. Otherwise, it messes up the date on you. And I've seen some that are not correct, so I've been fixing them as I go. I'm in CE Navigator quite a bit, just making sure everybody's staying on track and trying to help people as I go along. So I will make changes if I see something that isn't right. Hours 4.5 for AED training. You're gonna click on your license period, and then the submit button will appear at the bottom. It's very straightforward. Everything that you need is on your certificate, everything that you need. And if it's not, you just put TBD for right now. And if for some reason state ed wants to see it, if you get audited, then we'll reach out to the provider and we'll get more information for them if that's what they want. But you want to make sure every field is filled in so that you get the submit button to appear. Submit is also like save, so just think of it as that. I'm going to upload the certificate. I'll show you how to do that. It is not required. It says it right here. We did add that box because everyone thought that the certificate has to go in here. It does not. State Ed, again, is not directly linked to CE Navigator. They have no idea what courses you're taking. They don't know what your certificates are. They know nothing. This is not directly associated with them. And I stress that just because there's a lot of member confusion on that aspect. So to upload the certificate, you're going to click this gray button here, upload certificate, and then I'm going to double click on my CPR card. It will say file uploaded in green here for you. And then you can also view your certificate just to make sure you selected the right one, which I did. Okay. So that is how you upload a course. Again, certificate not required, but you can. Some people do like to keep it all together, and that's fine. And that's totally acceptable. So now you see on my screen, I have 0 hours, but we put in 4.5 for CPR. And I have the green check mark, but there's no hours here. Well, how come? Well, this is the clinical, scientific, and technical box. That is the objective up here. We didn't select clinical, scientific, and technical because it automatically just selects CPR for us. To fix it, two ways you can go into it. You can go to view upload CE and view added and go in that way to edit it. You can also just go under actions and go to CPR completed classes and then go to edit. It's the same screen, it's just two different ways to get there. You'll scroll down to the bottom and you will select the clinical, scientific, and technical button. This says select all that apply. So sometimes more than one selection will be made, and usually it's either two, or if it's a self-study, it will be three. So it just depends on what course you take. Again, you have to press submit to save. And then you can press the dashboard, and now our hours are up here. So that is the key. I think almost every profile I've been in, no one's doing that. So I really try to stress this. These are phone calls we get quite often. So just be aware that you do have to select this as well when you're doing any of these on the main screen. I am going to fix this license period because I'm just OCD and it bothers me. So I'm going to go to license period. I'm going to go to manage licenses. You're going to go to edit license date. You're going to click right in here. It tells you have to click on the license period to edit. Click on it, you come over here, and then you can either, again, choose it from the calendar, or you can manually change it there, that's fine. Press save. It says license updated. You go back to the dashboard and now it says May 31st, 2025. It should always be the last day of the month. It's never the first of the month. It's never the 21st of the month. It's never any other day except the last day. Unless you have some extenuating circumstances. It's usually the last day of the month. So that's how you edit your license period without making a whole new one. So then, because if you make a whole new one, then you have to transfer everything over and it's, if you have a lot of credits, it can be kind of time consuming. So that's how you add the CPR course. Let's see. I wanted to go over a risk management one because we do offer that course and I see a lot of people putting it in on their own, which is fantastic. It's great. That's what we want you to be doing. But it's usually not done correctly. It's usually either put in as practice management or as self-study, which self-study is half correct. So I want to show you how you would actually do that. So I have a redacted risk management one. Let me just pull it up and then I'll show you how you would do that. Okay, so again, because this isn't an objective, we can add it as an objective, and I can show you that as well. So some people, again, like to keep track of their risk management when they took it last. So you can add one right here, add an objective. You're going to select it from this list. Risk management does show up as one. You can do whatever you want. If you have a different course that you like to take every licensing period, you can create your own custom one as well. The hours are usually 3. It doesn't matter. Usually it's like 2 or 3 credits. And then you'll just select your current licensing period. You'll press submit. It says custom objective is added and you can go back to your dashboard. Any objective that you add is always going to be the first one at the top. So it's going to be above now clinical, scientific, and technical. So if I wanted to add that risk management course, I could do it 2 ways. I could go here and go to upload CE, or I could go to the actions tab and upload CE, complete objective. Doesn't matter either way. So the course title, we're just going to say risk management. You can do NYSDA risk management, doesn't matter. I know this is Frederick Wetzel. So I do this all day. New York State Dental Association. You'll select us from the sponsor list. Sponsor provider, it's the same thing. Location, this is an online self-study course. So location can just be online. It can be very simple, on-demand webinar, whatever you want to put there is fine. We are going to specify that it's self-study once we get down here, but if you want to put it there, that's fine. For this example, the date of the course is 6/13/2025. So that is actually in this next licensing period. I'm going to show you how you move this course into the next one in case you ever accidentally put one in the wrong licensing period. I'll show you how to do that. But the date it says is 6/13. So we're going to select it from the calendar because it's easier that way, I think. Hours, we're going to say 3. And for right now, we'll just click on this licensing period because that's all we have. We'll select self-study and clinical, scientific, and technical. So now all 3, because we created the risk management as that custom objective, are selected. If you didn't have this, it would just be self-study and clinical, scientific, and technical. Now all our fields are filled in, so you'll scroll down, select submit. This time I'm not going to add the certificate right away. I'll show you how to add that to an already existing entry because it is a little different, but it's pretty straightforward. You'll go back to your dashboard and now you see you've completed your custom objective and your hours have gone up by 3 hours. So now we're at 7.5, which is perfect. That's what we wanted to see. To add that certificate, again, you can go either here to view added CE and click edit, or you can go back into the actions tab. I will just stay right here and I'm going to edit this entry. I'm going to scroll all the way down, click on upload certificate right here, and then click on this gray box again, upload certificate. And then I will double click on the risk management. It will say file uploaded in green. We're good to go. If you want to view it just to make sure it's there, perfect. So now we are done with this entry. We can go back to the dashboard. So that's how you add a certificate to an already existing one. Try to be careful and not add the course again as a second entry. So for instance, if I said, oh shoot, I wanted to add that, but I never did, let me go add this course again. What happens is you're going to duplicate the entry and it's going to give you a false sense of how many credits you have, but I'll show you how you fix that and how you delete the duplicate entry. So I'm going to put these in here just like that, just like we just did. Go back to the dashboard. Now it's saying I have 10.5. But if I go up here to the view upload CE and click on view added CE, now I have a duplicate entry. And I only stress this and I bring this up because I see this all the time, because one entry has an attachment, a certificate, and one does not. So just be careful with that. Just double check, make sure you didn't add a second one. Sometimes I will always double check before I add anything to make sure you have not added it yet. Really, the only things at this point we're adding are, any courses you take with NYSDA. If you've already added it, I'll just make sure you did it right and go from there. But to delete this, you're just going to click the delete button. So I'm going to delete the one without the certificate. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to delete it? Click yes. It says it's deleted, which is great. We're going to go back and now we're back down to the 7.5. We don't want to be duplicating entries. This is one of the main problems, especially with course lists from the locals. It's been a big issue. So always review your account. Just make sure that you don't have any of those. And if you need help, we can always help you. We're always here to help. We want to help you guys make this a little bit easier. I think a lot of people have been doing really good now, especially with some one-on-ones. So we're more than happy to do that with anybody that needs it. All right. So that's adding risk management. Let's do a Greater New York, because I know a lot of people go to that meeting. So let's do a bulk upload for Greater New York meeting. So we would go to view upload CE. You can go to upload CE right here. You could also go from the clinical, scientific, and technical for under actions and upload a complete objective. You could do that as well. Either way is fine. I have an example that is redacted, but do have a Greater New York example. Okay, so I get this question a lot. Well, I took a conference, I took a ton of courses. I got to add each one individually. No, you don't. The only ones you're going to want to add separately from the main, what we call a bulk entry, would be if you took infection control or CPR. Any of the, required state mandated courses that you're supposed to take every licensing period, those you would want to add separate. And you would also want to subtract out any practice management. So in this scenario, let's just say these four, like risk management, infection control, reporter training, CPR, which with BLS, and this practice management, we're going to subtract all those credits out. So out of the 26, we're then left with 11 clinical hours. So you would do one bulk entry for 11 hours. So you come over here, the class title, you can just abbreviate Greater New York Dental Meeting 2024. Speaker name, you can put varied since, you saw a bunch of different speakers. You don't have to list them all. The sponsor, you're going to start typing in Greater New York Dental Meeting. You can either pick SERP or PACE. It doesn't matter. They're approved by both. Location, again, just city and state. You don't have to put Javits Center. You don't have to look up the Javits Center address and all that. It's just city and state. The date, you could just put the last date of the course you took there. So in December, we'll just say December 4th was the last day, just for example purposes. 11 hours for the clinical, and then the licensing period, we will pick May 31st, 2025, since it does fall in this licensing period. We'll click on clinical, scientific, and technical, scroll down to the bottom, press submit. I will not upload this certificate, but it is here if you need it. Go back to the dashboard, and now you see 18.5 hours. So those hours got applied appropriately. So that's how you would do, I know some people do sleep medicine and they're gone for 3 days on this long courses and they have 26 credits. You can just put one entry for 26 credits. You don't have to do each individual one. So that is a question we get pretty often. All right, now that one course is in the wrong registration period. So to get your effective date to your expiration date, you add a day and then you subtract 3 years. So for this particular example, anything after June 1st of this year would be in a new licensing period. So we did have that one course that was added in the wrong one. Okay, so To get that into the new one, you'll go back, you'll go to the license period, and you'll add a new one. Very easy. Couple clicks of a button. It's not going to automatically do it for you. You do have to manually do this. And it would be 53128 is the next one. You're going to press save, and now everything disappears. So a lot of people get scared. They think everything's deleted. It's not gone. You do have to restart every licensing period. You start back at 0, which some people did not know. So I like to review that. So you start back at 0 and you take everything all over again, everything that you need to take. To get to the previous registration period to see all those courses we had added previously, you would go up to license period and you would click on 53125. So there they are. They didn't disappear. They didn't go anywhere. They're still there. And you have access to them and you can print your transcript. So before I do that though, I just want to move this course into the right licensing period. So I'll click on View Added CE. I will go to Risk Management. I'll click on Edit. Everything is edit. Once you're in it and you've done it, edit is your best friend. You'll go to license period. You'll click on this and you'll click the new one. It's all you have to do. Press submit to save. You're going to go to your dashboard and now you have 3 hours because we moved that risk management course into this one. As you can see, the objective didn't carry over, so you would have to add it again if you want to. It's not required, but some people like to have it separate, and that's fine. So if you go to View Upload CE and you go to View Added CE, it's right here for you. So that is one way to move a course into a new one. You have to be careful of the dates. Usually state ed's very specific on the date, so you have to know your 3-year period. If you need help with that, we can help. I know that I've seen a lot of accounts where people just throw in their whole history, and really they only need anything from, December 1st, 2024 to current in here, unless for whatever reason you're under a conditional registration, which we won't know that unless you tell us that. We don't have access to that information. We are not the licensing department. The state education department is. So if you are under a conditional, you just have to let us know because there are different CE requirements in those circumstances. So you would have to let us know. But in any event, just let us know. We can work with you. We've done it before. It's not a big deal. If you want to print your transcript, you can go to, if I want to print like my previous one, you'll go here and then you'll go to download/print. And then from this screen, you'll go to print transcript. Okay, so we're going to go to print transcript. And then you'll see this come up. You can save it, print it, do whatever you want with it. That's fine. Your name will be there, your address, all your information that state ed's going to want to see on a transcript. And then you'll notice that the CPR course has 0 hours attached to one entry and 4.5 to another. So that's another phone call we get quite a bit. Well, how come I don't have my hours applying? It is applying. It's just applying it to that one objective instead of applying it twice, because that was happening. We had 4.5 here and 4.5 here. Can't have stuff counting twice. That's not allowed by state ed. If you were audited, that would not be acceptable. So we want to make sure we're having accurate total hour representation for you, for us, for everybody. So we had to have one say 0 and one say 4.5. In other states, they have different licensing requirements and state requirements, but for New York State, that is not allowed to do. So that is why you see 1 0 and 1 4.5. Doesn't mean you didn't get the credits. You do have them. It's just we don't want them counting twice. All of the objectives from your main screen will be that way as well. So if you have an infection control course, you'll have 2 entries. If you have a DEA, you'll have 2 entries. The other one I did want to show you real quick is just a read, learn, and earn, because a lot of our members do those, which is great. They would be considered self-study. So I'm going to go back to my previous registration period since the date that I have is going to fall in the previous registration period for this. We will go to View Upload CE. And then I'm going to pull up the Relearn and Earn. All right, so this is a certificate you would actually get for that. You can put whatever you want here, RLE, you can put Read, Learn, and Earn. However you want to do it. If you have long course titles, you don't have to put the whole course title name. You can abbreviate and that's fine. January 2025 edition, that's fine. Speaker name, you can put varied since usually there's a couple articles, a couple different speaker names. You could also put the first journal article's title in there. That's fine. Usually they're very long, so however you want to do that is fine. Sponsor would be New York State Dental Association. Location, you can put New York State Dental Journal, and you can put as a publication. So state ed will know this is a self-study course, even though it does say it on the certificate as well. Not every certificate that you get from other places has that, but in this scenario, we took it in April, so April 28th, I'll pick from the calendar. The hours will be 3. We'll click on our previous registration period since that date falls within the previous one. You will select clinical, scientific, and technical and self-study for that. You'll press submit and then it will be there for you under your, then once you're on your main page, it will keep going and defaulting to your current registration period. So to get to your previous one, again, you'll go up to the upper left-hand side. You'll go to view upload CE and go to view added CE, and then you'll see the read, learn, and earn that we just did here. You can attach the certificate now if you want. You don't have to. But all that being said, usually your main licensing period will show up. So how do you set a reminder? So some people like that feature. You can set reminders for anything. It doesn't necessarily even have to be for CE related stuff, or it might be you're due to renew your license. That can be a reminder to yourself. So to do that, you will go to any of the action tabs is fine. You'll scroll down to the third option, reminders. Hmm. And there's a reminder in here, CPR is due, but I'm going to delete that one because I want to add a new one. So let's just say that we want to set a reminder for that CPR course that we put in here. Okay, so we took that on what, February 10th, 2025. So in 2 years, we want to make sure we don't forget to do that. You can set the reminder however long before, 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, however long it's going to take you to make sure you get that set up and ready to go. So you can go to actions, reminders, and then you can add the reminder here. You pick the date. So we said 2027. So maybe I just want it January, in the beginning of January. It gives me plenty of time to get it. That's fine. You can pick whatever time, it doesn't matter. AM or PM is fine. Objective, you're going to click on whatever objective you have. So if it's for CPR, we're going to click on CPR. You can set it as a text and email or one or the other, it doesn't matter. And then reminder name, you could put CPR due, February 2027, you could put whatever, however it's going to stand out for you, that's fine. You could put whatever you want there. And then you'll add reminder and then you'll see it here. So you'll see when it will remind you for that. But again, I know other people have used it for other things as well. So that's why it's important on your account info to have your email and your phone number on there so that you can get reminders. To change your password, some people need to change their password. Maybe they created it a while ago and need it, or we gave them a temporary one. You would go into the upper right here, you would click on that, and you would scroll down to account info, and you can change your password here. And you can change any actually of the information on here that you need to, that's fine. You can add your phone number, things like that. So you can do that, that is an option. Let's see, Brenda, am I missing anything?
No, I think you've covered it. And you got the reminders, the duplicate entries, attaching
Yeah.
a certificate.
Yep.
We don't have any questions in the chat box or in the Q&A. So if anyone has any questions about anything, we have about 20 minutes. We pretty much showed you everything that we wanted to show you. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in there. I'm sure everyone's hot tonight and just wants to end things. So like I said, we'll give it a couple minutes and see if anything comes in. You
Yep.
can always reach out to us. The best way to reach Jocelyn and I is ce@nysdental.org. If you go ahead and use CE Navigator and, you've made a couple entries and you want to take a look at things, or want us to review things, we are happy to jump on and take a look. Just send us an email and say, hey, I made a couple entries. Can you take a look at it? And we'll fix it. We make screenshots, we send it out. We're in it all day long. We are very happy to help. You're not on your own with this. I would also just like to reiterate that if you are ever audited, please call me. Call us here and we will get your transcript in order. We will work with you on certificates. I've been doing a few of them lately for our members and they really appreciate that and the guidance. Sometimes I can fix things and sometimes I can't, but at least we know what we're working with and it's important. There is a survey that's at the end of this, and if you could just take a few minutes and just fill it out, that would be great, because it will help us plan, future events. If you want more CE Navigator stuff, we're happy to do that. If you just have basic, want to have a basic Q&A in regards to licensure, we can do that. Go ahead, Jocelyn, you actually pulled up the state ed page. We live on this page all day long. We reference this page all day long. We're fact finders, so we're looking for stuff. And Justin, if you want to go through this page, this is a great page.
Yeah, it's actually on the links as well that Brenda had put in there as the 1, 2, 3, I think fourth one down, the Q&A. So anytime you have a CE question, it's probably going to be here, to be honest. There's a lot here. So what I end up doing, just a computer tip, I go to here, expand all, and then I go to Control F, and you can start typing in whatever you want. So if I want to see if risk management counts, which they're not always very specific. However, I know this one is here. It will pull in all the words that have those letters in it. So risk management, I know a lot of people think wouldn't count, and in theory you would probably be correct. However, state ed will accept that as credits towards your 60 hours. It says it right here. And then they talk about, practice management not counting. If you, if you want to know about inactivating your license, you can read about that here. We don't handle licensing. So as far as those, this is all the information we really have. If you have other questions, if you scroll all the way down, state ed's number and extension and email, you can even email them as well, are here. Just in case, I don't know if your question isn't on this page. So it is a good resource and we use it all the time. I have it saved on my toolbar as a favorite so that I can access it quickly. But it is really helpful as far as CE goes. So nice little tool for you to have.
Jocelyn, we have two good questions in the Q&A that just came in. License period. Please explain. I was a little late to start the seminar. So do you want to go just show quickly how to determine what the license period is?
Yes. Yep. So for instance, if my license expired on May 31st, 2025, to get your 3-year period, you're going to add a day. So it would be 6/1 and then subtract 3 years. So it'd be any courses from June 1st, 2022 to May 31st, 2025. The only one that's tricky is the December 31st one. Because if your license expires December 31st, let's say 2027, when you add a day, you go to 1/1/2028, and then you want to subtract 3 years from that date. So then it would technically be anything from 1/1/2025. So the December 31st ones are a little tricky, but as long as you add the day first, including the year, then you can get the appropriate 3-year period. But we can always help too if you're not sure about that, because it is a question we get often, and I do see on quite a few profiles people aren't always putting in the correct courses in there. And I know some people just want like the green check marks, but the point of it is not to have the green check marks until you actually take it during your registration period. So I'm OCD too. I get it. I totally appreciate that. But you want to have the green check mark when you actually take it in your registration period so that you know. So if you're like, I want to make sure I don't forget, well, you can set a reminder. And that's a good way to use that feature to set a reminder for yourself when you're due next, instead of having it in here saying that you completed it when technically you really didn't. It was in your last registration period.
Okay. And the next question, we get this all day. How can I transfer my CE from NYSDA website to CE Navigator? Do you want to
Uh-huh.
answer that one?
I can't really show it as an example
Yeah,
because
it's hard.
technically I'm not an ADA member unless somebody wants me to unless somebody's like willing, I can go on the back end and pull up your CE history if somebody is willing to, I can show you. Let me know if someone says they are, because I will do that. Um, but actually, let me just pull up this how to access my CE history. So when you create a CE Navigator account, this document gets sent to you with all these links with all these helpful things. If you click on how to access my CE history, it will show you and go step by step as to how to do that. So you can visit ada.org, which is one of the links we had put in the chat. It's actually the first one that Brenda did. You'll click on account login. You'll enter in your credentials. So you're not entering, if you haven't logged into your ADA in a while, you do not use your ADA number anymore. You use your email address to log in. If you haven't done that, you'll have to click on forgot password. Here, I'll show you actually. Hold on. You'll click on forgot password, and then you'll type in it says username, but it's your email. Okay, and then it will send password reset email. I have known some emails like AOL, Gmail, some of the other optonline.net. These folks, you're not always getting all of the information and emails for whatever reason. It's just different. It's just a different emailing service. So it may show up in your junk. It may not show up at all. If you do have a problem with that, you will have to call them. I can't help with that. I can try other emails, but sometimes it's just something the ADA has to fix on their end, and I can't do that. So you will have to call them. But in any event, you'll log in if all that is well. Click on My ADA. There's going to be a picture, your picture if you have one here, and then it's going to have a bunch of different options. You're going to actually click on all CE credits. It's either the third or the fourth one down from the bottom. And then, obviously we don't have anything in our account because we're not dentists, so we don't have an ADA account. But if you do have one and you have submitted stuff to us or you've taken courses with your locals, this is where they'll be. So you can change it usually says show 10 entries. You can change that to 100 so that you have a good page. And then you'll click on the start date twice. And then that will chronologically list everything for you. I will say they do have this like export to PDF thing up here. Doesn't keep it in chronological order, so it's not very helpful for members. So if you really want like a hard copy of it, just let us know. We can put it in an Excel file and email it to you. Again, in the Q&A, you can put your name, your ADA number, your email, whatever you want to do there, or you can email us and we can help you. We've helped, like, I mean, at this point, probably over 1,000 members with this. I mean, we've been doing quite a bit of these. So I don't mind helping, but you still can access it here.
And
Um,
then,
yeah.
not to interrupt you, but the other part of it is like how Jocelyn showed you the bulk entry. Once you get that information and you pay attention to the dates and, you have, let's just say 13 credits that were over on the old platform,
Mhm.
where that history is, you don't have to enter those all individually. You wouldn't have to do that. You could just do one bulk entry for 13 credits. So it would give you an accurate, depiction of where you really are, knowing that the old is mixing with the new. And that's what we do. This is some doctors that are, that want to see the numbers. This is exactly what Jocelyn's doing is exactly how we do it. And then we attach the Excel that we generated from your history, which doesn't have a lot of information since the migration and the software change. But it's something, it's tangible. So this is exactly what she just did. It only took a couple seconds and you'll see it reflected. That's pretty much how you do it. You don't have to go line by line from your history to this. Um,
No.
it's not
Some people
required.
have some people have way too many hours to do that. And I mean, some of you take quite a
Yeah.
bit, which is great. And I love that. And you should be, but some people take quite a bit of CE and it just takes so long to do. But yeah, bulk. And I mean, really the only things you would want to, again, pick out of it, like I did for the Greater New York example, would be your mandated courses. So your infection control, CPR, child abuse, which hopefully at this point everyone has done. If you haven't, you need to do it right away. There is the more info tab for providers, but you know, you want to make sure that you're pulling those out. But yeah, that is an option as well. So if you have individual certificates and you want to enter them individually, you are more than welcome to. It is your account. You can do as you wish with it. But that is what we've been helping members with on the back end, just trying to get them caught up with their current licensing period so they at least know how many hours they have, because that's what everyone wants to know. Well, how many hours do I have? How many do I need? What courses do I need to take? So we're trying to get everybody kind of caught up. But
All right, we have 9 minutes left. There's no other questions. So if, we can go ahead and probably wrap this up. Jocelyn, is there anything
okay.
else you wanted to add? I mean, I think you covered everything.
I think I covered everything. I mean, always just ask us. We don't mind helping. Just pay attention to the dates when you're putting stuff in. Don't create duplicate logins. Please just check with us if you're not sure if you have one or not, because when you have multiple logins, now you have CE all over the place and it just gets too confusing. You got to just try to stick to one email login. I do try to monitor that every day as you guys create accounts just to make sure that I don't have any duplicates, and I will reach out to you by email if I find any. So, just make sure you're keeping an eye on that. That's one of the biggest ones, but I do try to be diligent and check that just for everyone so that they can, stay on track.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Just want to thank all of you for joining us today and taking the time to learn more about CE Navigator. We hope this session gave you a clearer understanding of how to use the platform. If you think of any questions after today's webinar, or you need more personalized help using the system, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Today's recording will be posted on the NYSDA CE page, so feel free to revisit it or share it with your colleagues. When you sign off, there's a survey. We've mentioned that. If you could just take a few minutes to let us know, provide us any feedback or comments, suggestions, we value all of that. On behalf of Jocelyn and myself, thank you again, and most importantly, thank you for being a member. Have a great evening, everyone. Take
Thanks,
care.
guys. Bye.